And we are live. Hey, everybody. We are grooving to YBV, Young Black Visionaries. I got my guest. She is ready to go. She's going to look for the broadcast. So
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can't. Can you hear me?
Let's see.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing this evening? We are getting our audio together.
Let's try a couple of things.
Come on into the broadcast and say hello. Hi, Frida. How you doing, Queen? We're playing my guest intro song, her intro song. She has her own intro song, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you.
Go out the broadcast and come back. Let me message her real quick and give her some instructions, and we'll get started here.
I can hear the playback from it, but I can't hear it.
You can't hear me in the broadcast?
I heard you right up until we started streaming.
Back in. Go out and come back in. Hey, everybody. We've got a fabulous guest. She's getting her audio together. Thank you, Frida, tagging people. Please share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast. It's Saturday night. The party's right here tonight. I don't know if y'all heard, but the party is right here tonight. So if you are new to my broadcast, welcome. This is the Entrepreneur Show. My name is Martine Corte. I'm going to be your host tonight. And I'm going to be bringing in my guest. Let's see if she can hear me now.
I sure can. I don't know what happened there, but I can hear you now.
All right. We have a young lady that is tagging everyone. Her name is Frida. You might know her, Trevesia.
I think I do. I think I met her when I was born.
Oh, you met her when you were born? Okay. I love her. And she's like your biggest fan. I just know it.
Yes, she is. Queen Mother, everybody. She knows exactly what she's doing.
I'm going to go ahead and play our guest. She has her own theme song. I cannot believe it. I need to get my own theme song. I need to get Wakanda one and get me a theme song.
Amazing.
Right. Hey, everybody. YBV. Hey. YBV. Young Black Visionary. I love it. Hey, we got a lot of people joining in tonight. I'm so happy. All right. We got Tammy Mitchell. She's saying hello. Now
hey,
tonight,
Tammy.
I can see my messages, my comments, but last night StreamYard wasn't being really nice to me and I couldn't see it. So, but now I can. So if that happens and I can't see, you can grab the comments from your phone. We can monitor the thread there as well. I'm going to also make sure that that's up. But welcome everybody to the Entrepreneur Show. We have some people joining in. We've got a Trevesia Marion. He says, "All righty, baby."
That's my dad.
Welcome, Dad. Welcome. And Frida, welcome to the Entrepreneur Show, along with everyone else. My name is Martine Corte. I'll be your host tonight. I am a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a live streamer. Yes. I'm also a small business owner and a best-selling author. My book is Journey to Greatness. Well, welcome. I'm also a 19-year, 20-year tax professional, and a 10-year landlord. I'm also the visionary and the founder of S&M Tours, where we take group trips to Ghana, West Africa. This is our Back to Our Roots tour, Ghana, West Africa, baby. Yes. And I'm also the host of the Entrepreneur Show, something I launched just out of a passion to make sure that our small businesses and business owners get the spotlight that they deserve. So that's how this was morphed into this Entrepreneur Show, and I love every minute of it. Hey, we got a Latanya
Rollerson. That's my cousin as well. Hey,
Hey,
Tanya.
all the family members rolling in. So we are so happy. I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs. I work with leaders. I work with artists. I work with authors. I work with nonprofit leaders. I work with a lot of people that are out here being bosses, out here being leaders in their community to help them reach more people, meet more people in their business, in their mission with the assistance of live streaming to help them get to the bag. So that's what I do. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Martine Corte. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a boss. She is ready to just let us know what she's doing. She's no stranger to me because I've interviewed her before on the radio, 95.7 The Boss. I do the Boss Morning Show along with the owner, William King. So you can follow us over there as well. Trevesia, whenever she comes back in town, she always hits us up, say, hey, I need to come on the show, on the Boss Morning Show. Say, hey, come on in, girl. But now I have her on my platform, the Entrepreneur Show. I'm so happy, Facebook Live show, to have her. I'm so happy to have her in. I've got a bio that she's provided to me that I want to read off, and then we're going to go ahead and hear from this fabulous lady, young lady, Trevesia Marion, an Omaha, Nebraska native, only child, creative soul. I love that. And fun-loving personality with dreams of educating the masses. A University of Nebraska-Lincoln alumna and proud member of the greatest sorority in the world, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. You go, girl. A young, driven soul with a passion for all things Black.
Ma'am.
Black arts, fashion, movies, music, food, literature, businesses, television shows, families. And did she mention food? Oh, yeah. You're going to be my best friend. As a young lady with aspirations of seeing more Black representation in the world, I set my sights. She set her sights on creating some of the representation that she would like to see. So with fashion being one of the biggest forms of expression, she created a clothing line with shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts with positive sayings and creative messages that speak life into Black men and women, called Young Black Visionaries. Thus the theme of her song that we played earlier. As time passed, she decided to expand and focus on the youth. Praise the Lord. Which is why she published her very first children's book. She has many more plans to influence Black youth, inspire young minds, and create positive representation for generations to come. What a fabulous bio. With no further ado, welcome, welcome, welcome to the stage, Trevesia Marion. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
You are so welcome. You are beautiful, young Black visionary. I love it. We're getting hand claps from Mama. She's like, yeah, big supporter. And Dad, he's chiming in. He's saying, very proud, very proud. I know that's right. I know that's right. So I'm so happy to have you here, Trevesia. You know, you've got your family. They are your support. They're your lifeline. And they're here. You've got your friends. You've got a support, an entourage of people that have been in your tribe supporting you ever since you launched out. So I want you to kind of speak to the people and let them know, give them a background. You're an Omaha native, so let them know, and then where you're currently located. We have a comment from the comments is just like taking over. Okay? It Kenneth Mitchell says, yes, she is. So, okay, have at it, girlfriend, before these comments start rolling back in again.
Okay, like you said, that's my family. That was my uncle. That's huge to me that my family really always shows up in every aspect every time they can. I always know if they're not here, they're busy. So I really appreciate that. Omaha has given me a lot. So, like you said, as a smaller city girl, being from Omaha, Nebraska, coming into Houston, Texas, I really needed that support to continuously push me so that I could take young Black visionaries from Omaha, which, as you said, is just my clothing brand of positive messages. Born Black, been proud. I got Black queening, Black kinging. I've got movie and TV shirts that are Black history. I've got so many things that I just kind of wanted to pour into our community and other communities. But I really needed that support to anchor me, just in those times where it was harder, to know that I'm still okay. I'm still doing it. I'm still doing well. I still have my support system back home, and I can carry that over here. If I could do it there, I could do it here. So that really helped bring me here to Houston, Texas, and spread the word, spread this all to the masses.
Wow. So Trevesia, let people know. Well, hold on for a second. I gotta put the comments. The comments is gonna drive the show tonight. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So we have Tammy Mitchell says, shine, lady, shine.
That's my
Uh,
aunt.
and mom says she's wearing that hat. Yes, I was gonna say something about your hat. I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Is that
Thank
one
you.
of the items that is in your
No,
store?
it's not. It was actually a Christmas gift. So what I like to do is I like to accessorize my own things so that you can see how it's done, how to do it, how you can wear them. A lot of people when I first started would say, I don't really wear sweatshirts. I don't really wear t-shirts. And I'm like, yes, you do. I'll show you. So I kind of started showing people how to work them.
Right. Sometimes we need ideas. I'm not the most artistic person, so sometimes I have a problem trying to put things together. But I have visionaries like you to lean on. I can just watch you all day and say, okay,
Yes,
I can wear a jean jacket with that hat. That is too cute. And we
thank
have
you.
Sinetta Crispin. She's got the
Yes.
high fives going. Is that also a family member?
Yes, that's my aunt.
Why was it I not surprised? I'm trying to make sure I didn't skip everybody. I want to make sure I recognize everybody.
Shamari's in the house. Hey, Shamari.
Hey, Shamari. Now tell us about Shamari
So
and how.
Shamari, Wakanda One, they wrote and sang my theme song. So as you heard in the beginning, she played the YBV song. That stands for, of course, Young Black Visionaries. It's on all platforms. You can stream that song, download that song, whatever you like to do. I put that in the beginning of all of my tips for positivity. So I do videos, tips for positivity. I put that in the beginning and the end of all of my videos. So he saw that, he saw the vision of it, and he just hit me up and was like, hey, I want to collab. Let's make a song. And that was over a year ago. It's lasted so long. It's so amazing. It makes me feel so big to have something like that. So I so appreciate him.
Oh, wow. I love that song. I play it all the time. And we play it at the radio station too. So kind of give people Harold says, I need that hat. I need that hat.
That's my cousin.
So give the people that are new to you, they don't know you, just a little bit of background. How did you even get into the space of a fashion line? Was it right after you graduated from high school or college, or how did that happen?
So it was after college. I've just kind of always had the spirit of entrepreneurship. I had started City Uplift, which was a website, and it was to showcase other business owners. So I just wanted it to be like if someone said, oh, I need somebody to do my makeup. I need a plumber. I wanted you to be able to find that within the community in the smaller businesses instead of us always going to Safe Light Repair for our windshield. And there's someone around the corner who does it for you as well, maybe even cheaper, maybe even better. So I wanted to kind of just get that out there. And so I used City Uplift for that for a while. That did very, very well. And as I was moving, I knew that I would need a transition. And I wanted to do something to represent Black. I didn't want City Uplift to just be Black, but I wanted something that was kind of just Black, that was going to represent Black. You can have it if you want to, but it's going to be Black. And so
Mm-hmm.
I started Young Black Visionaries. I started my clothing line just to give us some affirmations that we wear, some things that kind of outwardly say that I'm here and I'm Black. Even though you see me, I want you to see me, to really see me. So I wanted to get something out there in the world. I started Young Black Visionaries and carried it from there. I just wanted to continue to be positive, did my tips for positivity, wanted to give us a little more, something for the youth. And I wrote the book, to give us something to teach Black. So I wanted to teach Black history. I wrote the book, Someone Black Invented That. So that kind of gives you a small little tour of my journey, how and why.
Wow, wow. So we're gonna have to back up. Okay, so you started your clothing line. Well, first that wasn't your first project. You had the
City
was
of
it the
Blessings.
directory
Mm-hmm.
for small Black businesses, which I thought was phenomenal, and you've got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of coverage even on the news
Yes,
here
ma'am.
locally about that. That was phenomenal, and so that catapulted you to your clothing line.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you moved away.
Yes, ma'am.
Moved away. So you're currently in
Houston, Texas. I am in
Houston,
Houston,
Texas.
Texas.
So you've
Yes,
got
ma'am.
a bigger, much broader platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to be developing yourself there as an entrepreneur, small business owner,
Yes, ma'am.
networking in a bigger city,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
brings on more opportunities, of course. And now, um, fast forward, you are a new author out
Yes,
here in the
yes.
street, Trevesia.
Yes, yes.
So you mentioned in your bio you've kind of moved your focus, or kind of now you're focusing more on the youth,
Hmm.
and you've created this book. Let us know a little bit more about your book, and what's the title of your book?
It's called Someone Black Invented That. I have a copy here. Just in case, I hopefully they can see it. Oh, yep, you can see it pretty good.
Yep, we can see it.
It's called Someone Black Invented That. It's a children's
Oh.
book and it's got inventors in here and their inventions. So my purpose was to teach the youth that there are things that we can do that are beyond what we see. It doesn't have to be us going to school. If you have some creative juices, let them flow. If there are things that you think that you can do, give them a try. I wanted people to see other people who may not have finished school, elementary school, high school, college. These people are still great. They're able to do things. There are people who got all the way through to their doctorate and they're also able to create. So I wanted to showcase people, Black people, who in every realm were able to create things that we still utilize today, things that still save lives today, things that still help us in our everyday life. So I wanted
Mm-hmm.
us to recognize that, see that, feel that, and kind of feel that that's us, that's our strength, that's what we contribute to society. Instead of kind of feeling like what we have now is all we've had, that's all we've done, because that's not true. So I kind of wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do something to showcase that, to give that to the youth, so that we can learn our history, so that we can know our history, and hopefully so that I create more inventors. I want us to have faith in ourselves. So
Right, right. So why do you think, okay, do you think, even with all the civil unrest that we've had with George Floyd, Black Lives Matter movement, do you feel that young people are not heard from?
of
And
course.
so do you think that could be a part of why you've changed your focus or moved your focus to the youth? I kind of like to hear from younger people what it's like being your age, and what's your take on all of this that's going on.
Right. I definitely feel like we're not being heard. It takes for us to anymore, what works sometimes is for us to band together and get on like social media platforms and kind of talk there, for us to come all the way together, and we have to organize things in order to show our voices, to show our numbers, to show our strength, to show that we're all here and we're coming together. But very many times, if it's not organized enough to take down the bigger systems, we're not heard, we're not paid attention to. If we were, these things would be in our school system. I would have to teach them in my own personal book, because we've asked for that. We've begged for that. We're in the school system, so why wouldn't we learn those things? So there are a lot of things that our voices aren't heard with. We're not being taught a lot of things. We're not being helped in a lot of ways. A lot of the things that we ask for change on, it's kind of just like, if you don't have the dollars to put behind it, or if you don't have the numbers to put behind it, we're not heard at all. So all we can do is kind of go within ourselves and our communities, go within our small businesses, and band together and make ourselves bigger. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of what we have to do to make our voices heard, is band together, collab, do things like, what kind of one coming on with the song. Before you know it, if there are 10 or 15 businesses banding together, someone's going to start paying attention to them. The more and more we get together, people are going to be like, wait a minute, I keep seeing all 15 of these businesses, it sounds like they're making a little bit of noise. Let's pay attention. So we
Right.
really have to get together in our communities.
Absolutely. I think it's important that we as Black people, no matter how old you are, to come together. We need to do things together. We need to do collaborations, bring up our sister and brother, right? Because
Hmm.
we're in this together, and we're constantly oppressed. And so we have to band together to kind of push through these things. There's a lot of mental illness going on in our community because of
Of course.
everything, the long-term, oppression with amongst blacks, and so it takes a toll. And I always like to kind of hear from a younger person's perspective coming into this. You've probably never seen anything like
Hmm.
this before. You may not have even read about it in our in the books, in the
Right.
history books. So it's kind of something that's new, and you're like,
It's very new.
how are we supposed to process this you know
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I I think, Trevesia, your book is going to be amazing. Well, it is already amazing, and we've bought it. I want to know, how are you going to use your book, the Inventor's Book, to kind of help our people, help our youth, even our children, in elementary school. Are you like probably pitching this to maybe school districts or
Yes, I
maybe
am.
museums?
Yes, ma'am, I am. If there are any teachers, especially listening, I do have lesson plans for it. So I have lesson
Oh,
plans for the book. I will read virtually. I'll come into schools and read to the children. And like I said, I have lesson plans to just completely teach the information, cover to cover. But aside from that, I would really like to use it just to, I don't know if you've ever, if you can think back to the first person you met who kind of sparked something in you. It may have been a lady. For me, it was. I've had plenty of people in my past who just kind of sparked something in you. You're like, wow, she's amazing. She does a lot. I want to be like her. I want to provide more of those people for our youth, and that's the purpose of this book. And as I continue writing, that will be the purpose of every single book that I create. Is just to give that one person that you have reverence for. You're like, oh my gosh, if I can strive to be something, I want to strive to be like that. So that it's not only the media that's taking over for what our kids see. Because if we
mhm.
let that raise our children, they'll only see the protests not going anywhere, but then the Capitol storming going well. They'll only see those sorts of things, and it makes you feel very hopeless. It hurts. It kind of creates a narrative in yourself to make you feel like we're not ever going to go anywhere, and that's absolutely not true. So with this, I'm trying to teach what we have inside of us in order to incite that in people and create more of this because we have it in us. This is literally just birthed in us when we come out of the womb.
Right. We are, from a great lineage. We're great people. Sometimes, we just have to be reminded. And I think
Hmm.
projects like your book and the things that you're doing, going into, offering to go into classrooms and read to students, is going to remind them that they are great, and the sky is the limit. They can do
Yes.
anything they want to do. They can become the next president if they wanted
Hmm.
to. So I like projects like yours where, it kind of inspires young people. And even you, just watching you and seeing how you've grown into this beautiful Black queen, young adult business owner, now Arthur, doing the dang thing out here. You relocated to another city, a bigger city. That's got to be a big feat too, because a lot of people
Yes.
are, a little nervous about, going into a big city and trying to find your way. You're like a fish
Hmm.
out of the water sometimes, coming from a small town.
Yes,
So, but
ma'am.
you've been able to process all that and make it work for you. Could you share, Trevesia, just kind of your journey? Because maybe there's someone watching that's your age that wants to start their own business. Maybe they want to move to a bigger city where there's more opportunity for their brand, depending on the industry. Can you let them know kind of what your journey was like? Was there any obstacles? And what did you do to overcome them if there were?
Okay, of course. So I did have, of course, obstacles along the way. Even when I started City Uplift, that was something I really needed a lot of help with. I kind of needed all hands on deck. And creating something in the time, especially when I was moving away, it made it a little more difficult. So I had to prioritize things. I had to decide when kind of enough was enough and I'm going to have to put this down and try it again later. I had to decide what was doing well at what time and kind of what I would nourish, what I would give my attention to, what I would give my time to. I had to create relationships. That's huge. You have to build relationships. So,
Absolutely.
one big part of my journey was moving from Omaha to Houston. So I started Young Black Visionaries in Omaha. It did very well in Omaha, but I said if I was going to bring it to Houston, these people do not know me at all. I kind of had to keep it in my head that nobody really cares. Like until you tell them, they're not going to know, they're not going to care, So I can't walk around in these shirts with my chest poked out. Nobody knows you. So I had to spend some time helping some people. I would see other Black business owners, and instead of walking in and saying, I have shirts, if you need shirts made, I'll make you some shirts. I would say, oh, your logo is really nice. Do you mind sending me a copy of it? And I present them with a shirt. Now they've ordered 50, so
Oh,
it's just
wow.
kind of creating those relationships, kind of having those different situations where some people just ask for information. I will give that information for free in exchange for a relationship. Now I may get something from, that person can create a product, a video. So now that person will give me a video for free, pictures for free, whatever they can do for me, they're now doing because I am making myself of value. So you have to step into a lot of people's situations and make yourself of value instead of kind of walking into a whole new city and saying, hey, I have a business. I'm a business owner. I'm somebody. Again, nobody really cares. So you have to make yourself of value in a lot of those situations. Very much humble yourself and bring yourself to the table as a new person and say, hey, like you said, I'm a fish out of water. Can anyone help me? Is anyone willing to? Is there anything you guys can do for me? Is there anything that I can do for you? And that really helped me develop a lot of relationships. That made my transition from Omaha to Houston so much smoother. Just really getting with people and helping them in any way I could, doing anything that people were like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? Of course, instead of kind of being like, no, I'm too big for that. You got to kind of start ground level again when you're going to somewhere new. So that's one of the hugest things, the obstacle that I had and the way that I overcame it was kind of just digging in there. I got up every morning, I would DM 20 people as I was in my bed. Instead of scrolling on Instagram, I'd be typing on Instagram, and out of 20, 15 of them would probably ignore me, but 5 of them said something back. So that's the relationship development skill that I kind of learned.
Right. And it's definitely a numbers game with, trying to reach out to people just randomly that don't know you. But you mentioned something that's very, very crucial and it's important. You talked about relationships, especially when you're in a new city and you have to make friends because you have a business you're trying to launch in that new area, and you need to definitely make connections so you can find your way. So when you talked about relationships, it's important that everybody understand this, that anything that you do in life, whether you're a small business owner or just an individual, maybe you support the community in some capacity, that building relationships is key. And it's what's going to get you to the next level. And you utilize some of your product to say, hey, have this t-shirt. Sometimes in business, we got to give away stuff for free in exchange for a relationship or a network. Not that we're trying to buy anybody, but we're just showing them that, hey, I'd like to befriend you. I'd like to find out more about you. Maybe we have something in common. Maybe we can help each other. We don't know, but we're coming with this, this gift just to show our appreciation for your time,
Of course.
And that's value right there, So that's very important. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people kind of forget that sometimes, relationships is going to be the key. And you have to get out here and you have to lock arms with people that are going in the same direction that you're going in to help you, and you can in turn help them. You never know. Collaborations is where it all happens. And so
of course it comes full circle for sure.
Yeah, right. It comes full circle. Thank you for mentioning that. Now you also mentioned, Trevesia, that you have a podcast.
Yes.
Can you let the people know about your podcast? She's in television, y'all. She not only is a boss out here, business owner running her business and writing books and so forth, she's in television. Podcast is very popular now, and it's easy to launch. There's some things you have to learn, of course, but you made it seem like it's just seamless. This is really, really easy. So I want you to kind of let people know, how did you get into the podcasting? But before I have you talk about that, let me just take a break, a pause for the cause. If you are new and you're just watching this broadcast, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Entrepreneur Show. My name is Martine Corte. I'm your host tonight. I'm a small business owner, entrepreneur, best-selling author, 20-year tax professional, 10-year landlord. I work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, network marketers. I work with live streamers. I work with authors. I work with community leaders to help them reach their potential clients with the assistance of live streaming, what we're doing right here, right now, to help them make more money in their business. I have my guest, Trevesia Marion. She's been talking about her business, Young Black Visionaries clothing line, and she is an author as well, new author. She's has a new focus now added on to her brand, where she's working with youth, and that was the catapult to her book. And now she's going to talk to us about her podcast. And she's in TV. She's on TV.
Yes, yes.
So, let everybody know about your podcast. What is the name? When does it air? And how can we follow you?
Of course. So I have my own thing that I do. I do my own tips for positivity. And that's something I just started kind of out of, I felt more so charged to do it. So there were times that I would have to kind of bring myself out of not feeling well. There were times that I had to force myself into working out, force myself into work, so when people see it, you look like a well-oiled machine. It looks like you just get up in the morning, you go work out, you go to work, you come home, you work your business. Business is going great. You have no down days. That it's literally like, oh man, her schedule must be locked and loaded. You look like a well-oiled machine. And I felt, like I said, charged to give my audience something that was authentic, to let them know that even if it looks on the front end that I'm a well-oiled machine, on the back end, there are days and there are times it does get difficult. And these are the things that I do. So I started giving tips for positivity. That show is called Green Positivity, and it's spelled as like green tea with honey. So I sit and I just give tips, whatever I have that day, that week, whatever I have to give to the people, I give that. And within that, there have been people, even here in Houston, who have seen that, found that, and they've asked me to be on their podcast. So I got on with the heated debates. We did a season throughout quarantine a few months ago. We just ended in December. And we may be coming back here pretty soon, but that's called the Heated Debates. That's on Facebook Live. But mainly, if you'd like to find me like day in and day out, I'm Green Tea with Honey on YouTube. You can find that on my Instagram. I'll post those videos where I'm just sitting. That's if you just got 5-10 minutes to spare. You'll be able to find a good tip from me on how to be positive, how to remain positive, kind of how to bring you out, a tip to push you through. I talk about finances. I talk about everything that I can that I'm getting myself to and through for the people.
Oh, wow. Now, I have caught your podcast before. I like that, Green Tea with Honey. I love that. And so, there may be someone else out here that wants to do a podcast. Was it easy for you to launch? You just using your phone, or what do you?
I do use my phone. So that part is easy. So I do just use my phone. That's very basic. It can be very easy. You have the tools within your home. So let's say you don't have a special tripod or a backdrop. I started off with this very, very ugly vintage chair. And I would sit right here in this chair, and I had like just a plain backdrop. I had nothing else going on. My tripod had no light on it. So I'd have to sit during the day and open all my blinds so that you can see me and see me well. So that's kind of like starting just ground roots. If you don't have anything, you can sit your phone up against something, sit against a plain wall in a comfy chair and talk to the people, And I really wanted to start there so that everybody could see me grow, so that they could see like I made it a whole thing when I got a new setup. Everybody was excited for me so that we could see what it looked like ground up. I mean, the setup was just not cute before, but that's where I started. I came to the people very authentically. And then you'll kind of build up. That's when you can get your tripod. You can kind of start to learn to edit. So my videos got a lot better. I started off only live. Then I learned how to actually incorporate everything I wanted into the video. I got a theme song thanks to Wakanda One. And you just grow and grow if you continue to do what the people want. If you continue to give something almost just out of the kindness of your heart for free, it'll turn into something. So it's really just about consistency, sitting down and doing it. It's not the easiest. There were times I posted bloopers. There were times where I'd sit here and I just be like, I can't get anything out. Like it's not working out. So it
Mhm.
happens, but you persevere. You know, you push through it, keep going. People would get videos that day, even though it was like, this one I didn't feel so well. And I would say it like, I don't feel well right now, but here we are, you know, and people
Mhm.
would love that because they don't have to see you in your best all the time. So it's really just
Right.
about sitting down, being consistent, and getting it done.
I like that word consistent. It's very crucial that people understand that, especially small business owners. Anything that you do, you have to stay consistent with it. If you want it to manifest into something greater, it will. You just have to stick to it. Even if
Of
it's something
course.
that you're doing for free, you're using
Mhm.
your personal time to
Mhm.
do it, like I am right now with this
Mhm.
entrepreneur show. This is something we do for the community, for anyone out there in the social media world. We've got a comment from Kevin Sims. He says, so inspirational. It is. Trevesia, with you being a young Black visionary, there's a lot of people following you. They're watching you. Your parents are watching you. Your peers, other small business owners are watching you because you're a business owner. How do you take that all in as a young person and trying to process all this? And still, you're still learning. You're still in the phase where you're learning and you're trying to, maneuver this world, this busy
Mhm.
world out here, and everything that you're doing. What would you say, or can you speak to people maybe your age, as to how you can stay balanced and together? I mean,
Of
you've
course.
blossomed since the first time I saw you, but can you
Yeah.
speak to them as far as that process of how to manage everything?
Of course, it does take time. It takes some bumping your head. It takes some prioritizing because it is hard to stay balanced. As you said, I'm still very young. So I'm still in the place where there are things that I want to get out in the world and do. You know, I still want to travel. I still want to have some just me time. I still want to have some time where I'm just sitting up with my friends having a good time. I want to go out. I still want to make church. I want to do everything that I want to do still. It's very important to nourish your personal because what would happen is I would give everything to business and I would be tired and I would be cranky and I'm not producing things that are great anymore because I'd be almost upset to do it because I felt like it was stealing my life. So I had to really create a plan, kind of set away time to just do business. And I had to get very strict with there being days where I look at the clock and I say at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be done with this specific thing. And 11 o'clock would come and my alarm would go off and I would hate it, but it's almost like when it's time for you to put your pencil down for a test, I just have to put everything down and be like, okay, well, it's time for me to relax. It's time for me to watch a show. It's time for me to hang out with my friends. It's time for me to debrief. So it's really just about still making sure you're consistent. So sometimes that next day the video would be shorter, or I would just put out one shirt instead of the 3 or 4 I had planned. Nobody really knows what your plans are. And as
That's
long as you set your expectations high, they're still going to be happy with whatever it is that they get. So you just give what you can and still do what you can to live your life. You have to have some flexibility. I'd have some plans that I say, okay, I'm going to do this by Friday. It wouldn't get done until Sunday, but that's okay because I still got it done. You know, I still had fun. I still got rest. I still ate well. You have to kind of nourish every aspect of your life, especially at this young age, because you don't want to get older and regret that you put everything into business and that now you
Mhm.
don't know your friends anymore, or now you weren't able
Right.
to date, or now you weren't able to do anything that your age called for because you were only putting yourself into one thing. It's very important to have some balance, really set some
Mhm.
boundaries. We don't only set boundaries with other people, we need to set them with ourselves. Really set some boundaries with your business so that you're not only into that. You need to be all into your full life in order to be a balanced person.
Absolutely. Good answer. Being balanced, setting boundaries, because we can, tire ourselves out with our business. We go hard. And there's a saying, we're grinding all our life. We're trying to make things happen. And so we can
Yeah.
get so involved where we're not setting boundaries, and we're kind of our friends and our family. We haven't spoken to them, or we haven't seen
Hmm.
them, or whatever. And we get so in tune to what we're doing with the business that we forget about we need to relax. We need to take time out for our family. So that's a very good way to put that. I like that. You know, I'm a grinder, so it's really hard for me. I'm
It's so
still
hard.
working.
It's so hard. But you mentioned something very small that brings me to another story that kind of just gives a good example. You said, one of the sayings is grinding on my life. That's a song by Nipsey Hussle. So there was a time a few years back, I had just moved here. Nipsey Hussle was in Dallas. That's only a few hours from Houston. I found that out, but I had things to do. So instead of going, one of my favorites, instead of going, I stayed back and I got my work done. And to this day, I regret it because that would have been one of my last times seeing an artist who is now passed on. So
Yeah.
I kind of told myself those things that are bigger and important to me, I can give myself some grace to get up and do it in the morning. I can give myself
Right.
some grace. Normally, if you communicate with people, they're okay with it being a little later than you said. It's just really
Mhm.
about that balance because there are things that you'll leave behind like that you won't have the opportunity to pick back up, and all you can do is regret it.
That's true.
So the
We have
balance
to
is
give
important.
ourselves, right. We have to give ourselves permission to, take a break. I just got back from a week's vacation and I needed it. I
Yes,
needed it.
ma'am. Congratulations.
I was able to get away for a little bit, but my phone was going off the hook. It was, I was like, no, I can't work. This is supposed to be my vacation.
Yes,
I'll have to get back with you in
right.
a few days. But we have to set boundaries, like you mentioned, in order to progress and get the rest we need because we're no good to the flock if we're sick. So we can't run
Correct.
our businesses if we're sick. We
If
can't
your cup is
support.
empty, yes,
Right, we
ma'am.
can't support our community, our customers, our clients if we're empty. So good answer, good answer. So Trevesia, let people know, and then we can wrap up this wonderful. I could talk to you all night, but we can talk about other things, and then we got to get our rest. We just talked about
Yes,
balance,
ma'am.
right? So let the people know: is there anything coming up? Any future projects that you can share with us at this time? What's your next step? Because you're just you're going leaps and bounds. You're just
Yes,
like being
ma'am.
phenomenal. I'm just like, I'm ready to hear you announce the next project.
Of
And
course, of
going into
course.
Black History Month, I know you're doing something.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, I do have a Black History Month campaign where I will be offering the book, like I said, along with lesson plans. I will be offering the book along with shirts. I will be offering a lot of different things coming up Black History Month. So please stay tuned for Black History Month coming. It's also my birthday month. It'll be my 30th birthday. So it's feeling very big as a milestone. So I have a lot of stuff coming up throughout that whole month. I really want us to celebrate Black History Month like we do Kwanzaa, like we do Christmas. I want us to think a lot bigger about it. So I will have a few campaigns coming up for Black History Month. Like I said, please watch out for those. And I will have another book coming soon. I am writing. I'm in the middle of that. So please stay tuned for another book. And I'm going to write until the cows come home because we got plenty of things to learn. I'm in here and I'm ready to teach it because we have so much to learn. If I have to write until I'm 75, I will do that so that we can learn our history because it matters.
That's right. What is one of the inventors in your book? Anyone that we know, or is this unknown
Yes,
inventors?
yes. I mean, both. There are people who we should know. There are people who are unknown. So we should know that the traffic light was created by a Black man. That's something that we utilize every day. It's something that still saves lives today. We should know that that was created by a Black man. But one that's my favorite right now, and it's my favorite because there are recent developments, is the super soaker, just the super soaker gun that you use as a
Oh
kid,
yeah.
the water gun. That's by a Black man, Dr. Lonnie Johnson. And the reason I like that one right now is because in the beginning of 2021, he finally won his lawsuit. He's been fighting for so many years against these huge toy companies who decided to take what was his and go ahead and sell it without his permission. So it's like
Wow.
I feel like I won something. So I've just been talking about him since the year began because I'm like, oh, he just won something. He's still alive. He's still, well. This is not an old man. I want people to know that there are people creating who are still here today, and he just won his lawsuit. So
That is
that's
phenomenal.
just a whole nother thing. Like, keep fighting. It took years and years, but he just won. So
Yeah.
I feel great about seeing that.
Right. We have a comment from Victor Marion. That's your dad, right?
Yes.
He says, Martine Corti, you ask excellent questions and carry your show very well. God bless you, your sister. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Yes,
And
yes, yes,
we've
yes.
got a comment from Kenneth Mitchell. He
That's my
says, you
uncle.
are just absolutely beautiful, my niece.
Thank you, Uncle
Oh, that is
Kenny.
so sweet. Having that support from the family is very crucial to small business owners. We
Yes,
need it. If you think we're out here bossing and we've got all the energy and support that we need to hear that you support us as well. You know, you can write us a note, send us a message, pick up the phone, but we
yes,
still need to hear that even though it may look like we have everything together, this young lady looks like she definitely has everything together, but trust and believe she needs to hear that from you all. And I know your
yes,
family is a big supporter of you and they let you know every day that they
yes.
love what you're doing. And I love what you're doing. Trevesia, how can people continue to follow you?
Of
Those
course.
that are interested in maybe your book, interested maybe in your clothing line.
Of course, it's Young Black Visionaries everywhere. So if you get on YouTube, it'd be Young Black Visionaries. My website is youngblackvisionaries.com. You get on Instagram, it's Young Black Visionaries. Facebook, Young Black Visionaries. It's Young Black Visionaries everywhere. You can buy my book on youngblackvisionaries.com, or you can go to Amazon if you need to. Buy it off of Amazon.com. It's called Someone Black Invented That. And if you buy it from Amazon, it'll ship straight to you. If you buy it from my website, I will sign it and deliver it to you. So you can go to youngblackvisionaries.com and buy a copy of Someone Black Invented That.
All right. So Instagram, she's on YouTube. Y'all can find her. She's on Facebook. So there's no excuse. You can follow this young Black visionary, Trevesia Marion. Thank you so much for being my guest tonight.
Of course.
I love interviewing you. Next time you're in Omaha, let us know. We'll have you back
Of
on the show,
course.
95.7 The Boss Morning Show. We've got another comment here. So y'all can find her, youngblackvisionaries.com as well. Get your book. Get your book, Trevesia. What's the name of your book again?
Someone Black Invented That is what the book is called.
Someone. Okay.
Someone Black Invented That.
Okay. Someone Black invented that.
Yep. Someone Black Invented That is what
I
it's
love it.
called. Yes, yes, yes. So you can get that, like you said, Amazon or on youngblackvisionaries.com. I do want to say, I know you said there was another comment, but I do want to thank you. I want to make sure that I give you your roses. You are on 95.7 The Boss. You are on the Entrepreneur Show, and you're doing what the people need. This is so huge for you to have a platform. Thank you so much for always inviting me on. Thank you for doing wonderfully, interviewing me. Like my dad said, you do so wonderful. You're very good at this, and I so appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We have Victor Marion who says, baby, you always on point. Hey. And we have a comment. Boy, I tell you, your family is going in here. I can't even keep up. We've got Sanetta Crispin.
Hmm.
She says, this interview was awesome. Great job to both you ladies. Thank you, Sanetta.
Thank you.
We have Carnetta.
That's my line sister.
Okay, she says inspirational. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your time tonight. I know it's Saturday night, but we're at home, right? We're at home.
Yes, and I appreciate them tuning in on a Saturday
Right.
night.
So this is the best time to get all y'all because y'all at home, you
Yes.
know, and we bring in, information that we need to share in the community. We need to support small Black businesses. Don't forget that. We're rolling into February. So it's all about Black History Month, even though we do it all year long. But February is our day. They told us that's our month. So we're
We're
going
gonna
to
use it
do it up.
every day of it.
We're
and
going to
and the
do it
extra
up.
day on the leap year. We're gonna use it all up.
Exactly. We got Kevin Sims. He's commenting. He says, hey, we in here deep, deep. I know.
Yeah, so that's my cousin as well.
Another cousin.
They took over.
Wow, wow. I just love it. I love it. Family support. That's what it's all about. So,
I love it. I'm so glad for him.
okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming in tonight. Again, for those that are just tuning in, this is the Entrepreneur Show. I'm your host, Martine Corte. Okay. Carnetta Griffin says, yeah, support, especially now. We've gone turn it up these 28 days. That's right.
Every one of them.
Every 28 days, y'all. I want to see y'all show up something. Let the youth know about a Black inventor they didn't know about.
Hmm.
Someone that we never heard about. We always kind of leave them out. We always talk about the knowns, but let's talk about the
Hmm.
unknowns. There's so many Black inventors, leaders, people that were influential in the community around the world. So Show up. Let us know about it. Teach me something. Teach me something.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So those again that are watching on the replay, I want to shout out my replay viewers. If you're watching this after the broadcast, please type in the comments hashtag replay and let me know that you watched it on the replay. If you have a question for either myself or my guest, Trevesia Marion, please put in the comments. We'll be sure to get back to you and respond. As always, I never like to forget about my replay viewers because this video is going to be out here on Facebook so people can watch it at their leisure.
And
We have
people will.
Right. We have a comment from Kenneth Mitchell. He says, great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, my name is Martine Corte. It has been a pleasure, Trevesia, talking to you again, chatting with you. Let me know again when you're back in Omaha. We miss you here, but I know you're going to do your thing down in the H-Town in Houston,
Yes,
Texas.
ma'am.
I love Houston. I love Texas. So, you might see me swoop in there.
I would love it. I would love to see it.
I'm a traveler, so I can get out there. Tammy Mitchell says awesome. And Latanya Rollerson, she's got a happy face with, kissy marks all over.
Love there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. So you can follow Trevesia on youngblackvisionaries.com. All social media platforms, Young Black Visionary. I like it. She kept it consistent across all social media platforms. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And you can also follow on all social media platforms, Martine Corte. So, Trevesia, I'm going to let you have the last words, and then we are going to be out of here.
Of course. I would charge all of us to make sure we're doing something extra for Black History Month. Don't let the month pass us by and we're not doing nothing for it. And this is our time. I don't care if they only gave us 28 days. We need to use them all as wisely as possible. So I'm just charging you to teach a young person something, step into a classroom, help somebody, do something extra that you're not doing already to really help our Black communities, because it's up to us. We need to learn that. We need to know that it's up to us. If you need anything from me, please let me know. I'm so happy to help. Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody was so great tonight. It helped
They
so
were.
much.
They were. Thank you so much again, Trevesia, everyone out there watching. You're like a daughter to me, so I absolutely love you. I will continue supporting you, following you. If you need anything, let me know. But other than that, everyone, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday night, and please follow me on my next live stream. You never know. On Tuesday nights, it's Tax Talk Tuesday right here on this platform, Martine Corte, under my brand, Advanced Tax, where I am the boss. I am the owner of that business. And you can follow me on Friday nights for Side Hustle Night School on Friday nights under right here on Facebook Live. So thank you so much, Trevesia. It's a pleasure. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Get you some rest, sis. Get you some rest,
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone have a good night. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank y'all.
Bye.